In 1996, I made an announcement at the Gathering of the Masters that as of that year, over 197,000 children were uploaded with the chips. That was back then. Will plays the part of the reverse racist. Right. Check it out. Who shows contempt for the blue-eyed, pale-faced, childlike creature. But a little more about that later. Children today are being programmed to think that every man and woman should act and do for themselves. They sit transfixed like zombies in front of TVs and various sized computer screens, worshiping artificial people with cartoon lives, while the system drugs them with vicarious experiences and superheroes, secondhand sensuality, seducing them into believing that they must achieve fortune and fame in order to have meaning in their lives. If you can't sell it, you can't spend it, it don't mean nothing. America's children, more specifically white children, and generally black and Latino children, now suffer from the psychosocial disease of affluence. The disease of affluence. A child who is poor looking at everybody else who has a whole other frame of mind now. The comfort and the so-called pseudo-joy being expressed by the boy leaning out of his huge gas-sucking big fucking tank of a Navigator. A truck that gets maybe 15, maybe 13, like when they lie to you, 12 miles a gallon. The wars that you're going to see fought in the next 10 years are so we can drive SUVs. This is why at the present time, there are over 1,000 active serial killers operating in the world today, with 76% of them born and raised here in the good old USA. Our nearest competitor is England, with 17% of the world's serial killers. But understand that while the US can claim the dubious distinction of spawning 3/4 of all serial killers operating today, we only constitute by number 6% of the world's population, with over 70% of the serial killers. The profile of a serial killer is of no surprise to us. 84% of them are white, 90% of them are white males, 86% of them are heterosexuals, and 3% of them are men of color. Another example of the symptoms of toxic affluence, besides serial killing, happens mostly to white women. And that is bulimia, anorexia, obesity, which is for us the same, for black folks, depression and suicide. But the rate is going up in the black community now because black males are killing themselves at a higher level now. And this is from the richest country in the world. It's gotten so bad that psychiatrists are treating grown-ass men who are stressed out because their lives are entirely centered around the outcomes of professional sports events. Brothers and sisters, we are all suffering from psycho-spiritual battle fatigue. We have become a society of angry, hateful people, which means that the adversary is one up on us so far. You ever been driving? Who's a driver here? Who's a driver here? Let me ask you a question. I want to show you the temper of the times. You're driving along. Somebody comes up. Nice looking car, cuts you right off. What's the mind? Motherfucker.
Right.
I defy anybody to be driving in New York City and not be stressed out at the wheel. Angry at the next person vying for the little space that we have left. Did you see anybody come over the bridge today? Yeah. Did you see the Triborough Bridge? Wall-to-wall cars. It's like we become a nation of hateful, angry, spiteful, selfish, self-important brats. And the saddest thing about it all is the ones that we are most angry, spiteful, and hateful at is ourselves. All of us are unknown victims of mental molestation. Let me say that again. All of us are victims of mental molestation. It's as if all of the oxygen around us is drying up with only a few pockets of air floating by, and we're all stepping on each other's faces just to catch our next breath. Crabs in a barrel. What has happened to reason? Where's the logic in all of this? Well, maybe to answer this, we need to first canvass the crime scene for clues. So much is happening so fast, and it seems that most of it is bad. The parasitic elite have stolen humanity's cosmic vision and our power to dream of a sane, safe, and fruitful tomorrow. They've substituted nightmares, poltergeists, and blood-sucking demons dressed as politicians, priests, doctors, and CEOs who drain the creative energies through the frequencies of fear. For example, the society teaches us that there are two things driving our present concept of civilization: killing and money. These two principles are the alpha and omega, the electric and the magnetic, the yin and the yang of our present world paradigm. These two principles are the pathological parents that have given birth to the greed, avarice, hatred, jealousy, covetousness, and helplessness suffered by humanity today. We are all trapped in a demonic dance of death and dollars. The online writer, a man named Kaminsky, rightly states that no matter what, we cannot have peace in our time because we all need to make money. It is the need to make money that drives the demon of violence. And the legalized ritual of state-sanctioned murder is the most profitable enterprise we know today. Thus, it is money, the so-called root of all evil, that becomes the necessity that keeps us alive, but inhuman. The old adage, for the love of money, etc., is now relative because one cannot love money, one can only lust after it. It was the lust of money that brought down the towers. It was the lust of money that brought us into Iraq. It's been the lust of money that brought us into, is going to be bringing us into Syria and Iran, Cuba, North Korea, China, then eventually into the streets of America itself for the lust of money. And it was for the lust of money that brought us over here in the first place. It is for the lust of money and power that our societal unit called the family has died. It is the lust of money and power that makes one religious mindset want to dominate another. Pope Leo IX, I believe, said, and I quote to his cardinals and his bishops, "We all know," quote, what a profitable thing this myth of Jesus has been for us. Pope Leo himself said that. So what is the lesson of society today? Simple. Honesty is an impediment to making money. Let me say that again. Honesty is an impediment to making money. Those who work for truth and harmony remain poor, barely getting by. Right. Our entire society is based on the bending, twisting, warping, and repression of truth. It is mutilated into abstract, unrecognizable shapes by pleasant-looking white men and white-looking black women on TV at 6 and 11 o'clock every day, so that it looks, sounds, and feels just like the twisted minds who